Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to continue my draft series. Today we're going to talk about offensive linemen. We know the Falcons still had a hold at the left guard position. They're going to bring in guys to compete for their spot, just like they did last year. Hopefully one of these guys hit. Addition today, they actually signed the guy Ethan Greenridge, who was undrafted. 2019, played for the New Orleans Saints. He actually played in 15 games, 9 at left tackle, 38 at right tackle, and he actually played 2 spots at tight end. The last couple of years, he's been on injury reserve. But once again, the Falcon is bringing in guys at depth to these different spots. This guy here, like I said, definitely a training camp ad. Somebody that definitely can compete. Bigger guy, 6'4", 335 pounds. But we're going to actually see, he only have never really started a game in the NFL. Another guy, he come in and compete with guys like Matt Hennessy, Jalen Mayfield, Justin Schaefer. And see who's going to actually get that left guard spot. Of course, you know we already brought out our swing tackle. So Jermaine Ifedi, bringing him back, to be that swing tackle from the left and right tackle spots. But a guy like Ethan Greenridge, bringing him in, another guy to compete. The Falcons have developed a culture where it's all about competition. You can see it last season when they had guys come in and compete. A lot of those guys was on 1-year deals. A guy like Jared Barnhart, who actually came in and competed, and actually won a spot, right? So you love the culture that the Falcons building, bringing in another guy like Ethan Greenridge, who's been in the league for about 4 seasons, come in and compete at that position. And to add with that, if the Falcons do not decide to take a guy at number 8 at the offensive line position, like they could possibly do, we talked about it, because they have did so well in the offseason. Additions to the roster that they have added, they definitely could go offensive line at number 8. Once again, that would not be a sexy pick, but it's still a pick that is needed because you want to be able to make sure the trenches are solid for the run game, as well as protecting the young quarterback Desmond Ridder. Right, so 2 guys I'm going to highlight today definitely could go in the second round. Actually, one could go as early as first round. You never know. Offensive lineman is a very important position in the NFL. Of course, these are not some of the top guys, but these guys could be solid guys that you can actually bring in. Will have a lot of experience playing football in college, and with a little coaching, from the pro side, getting these guys in with veterans like Jake Matthews, Christian Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, can actually develop these guys to be pretty good pros as well. So the first guy we're going to highlight is Emil Ikoyor Jr. Actually, his father played defensive lineman in NFL, and also was a former UFC guy as well. So bloodline is there for a guy like Emil Ikoyor. The thing about this guy, playing at Alabama, no sacks in the last 2 seasons, with over 2,700 snaps, and only six penalties. 6 penalties during that time. So really good, solid, smart offensive lineman. Really good. Good thing about him, he's really good at combination blocks, coming in good on twists and stunts and things like that. Really good, solid lineman. Can get in and play beside like a guy, like I said, Jake Matthews, to teach him the ropes. But one thing we know about the University of Alabama, they bring the offensive linemen, always have a solid offensive lineman. Look at their run game, look at their pass protections that they give their quarterbacks and things like that. They came from a solid program with good coaching under Nick Saban. So I would think that this would be a good, solid pick for the Atlanta Falcons. Definitely somebody that can come in and compete with like those other guys I mentioned, Mayfield, Hennessy, Schaefer, and see what they actually can, who's going to best man win out. But bringing in another guy like Ikoyor would definitely help that competition. You never want guys to come in and be uncomfortable. I know one thing that I love what Matt Ryan used to always say was that he's ran out of his locker, right? Every year you come in trying to prove your spot, prove that you belong on this field, belong in this league, and because every year they draft new guys. So bringing in another guy to compete with guys like Hennessy and Mayfield and Schaefer, guy we brought in last year, is definitely not a bad thing. But a lot of snaps for this guy. Look, if you go back and look at the film and look at some of the things that Alabama has been able to do over this time span, you just know that he's been coached well and his fundamentals are going to be sound, smart, intelligent offensive lineman. So Emil Ejoker Jr. is another guy that Atlanta Falcons definitely look at going on day 2, that at that 44 pick. Or maybe 75 if he's still there on the board. Another guy out of Washington, University of Washington, Jackson Kirkland. Actually, this guy is one of the best pass protectors in college football. Sits at 6'7", 321, so he's really, really big, but one of the best pass protectors in. We want to be able to pass protect for our quarterback. Even though we got mobile quarterbacks, we still want to be able to give Desmond the time to actually, survey the field with all those different weapons he have opportunity to pass the ball to. But a guy like Jackson Kirkland coming in, deciding to come back for one more year was actually a good thing for him this year. And I think, give him aside guys like Jay Matthews and Drew Dahlman, Christian Instrom, Caleb McGarry, develop that chemistry. I think he can actually develop into a good run blocker as well. But coming off, and actually, usually when you're bringing guys into the NFL, it's actually the other way around. They're actually a better run blocker than he is pass protector. So the fact that he's actually a better pass protector already and have to work on his run blocking is a good sign, because usually when you're doing run blocking, you're going forward, bringing that power, get him in the weight room, on the weight program, and develop him well. I think that'll really work out well for a guy like Jackson Kirkland. But overall, the Atlanta Falcons do need to add to this position to create that competition. Don't want to just pencil in guys. Hennessy played well his last 2 games he played at that position. Guy who actually came in as a center and moved over to guard, so you like the transition. Jalen Mayfield, a guy that just really, really had a bad, rookie season. Actually, did not play last year was IR all year. Definitely come in, big guy, a mauler. That's why we liked it, a guy like Jalen Mayfield, but just could not get that left guard position. Remember, he played right tackle in college at Michigan, but Jalen Mayfield, you never know. He could, have that jump that some, young guys have in the NFL. And they finally started to trigger for them, right? And then Justin Schaefer played at the University of Georgia. Solid run game there. Never really got his opportunity to see what he'd be able to do, but hopefully this year that he can compete as well. And bringing in another guy, either Emil or Jackson, definitely would help that competition going into training camp. So guys, let me know what you think about these 2 offensive linemen. Also bringing in Greenbridge as well to add to that depth. Atlanta Falcons is like they continue to add players throughout this offseason, and I think the last total bringing us to like 80 players on the roster. Remember, they can only have 90 going to training camp. If you factor in 7 draft picks, that'll be put you at 87. So that'll be only like 3 undrafted guys that they can bring in, which brings me to my point I made on my live the other days, that I expect the Falcons to cut some guys to make room for some of their draftees and undrafted guys that they bring in. And you also got to remember, before we get to that 53-man cut, when they start to cut guys that get cut from other teams as well. So, they brought in guys like that last year. And so it always roster building for this team. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith is always trying to find the best players to fit this roster. But you can see things shaping up I think the offseason has been going well for these guys, and we're really close to that 2023 draft. So, guys, let me know what you think about our two offensive linemen that I highlighted today. Do you think any of these guys got potential to actually fill in for that left guard position for the Atlanta Falcons, or any guys that's already in the sweet spot, like a Hennessy or a Mayfield or Schaefer? Just don't know. So, guys, this is your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.